What's up, guys? Welcome to Chronos of Tech, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a tool, one of the websites that is going to allow you to choose parts, hardware parts, so say if you're building a PC, without having those compatibility issues. I know a lot of us have trouble setting up our CPU and our motherboard and having compatibility, or setting up our RAM sticks and having compatibility. So I'm going to show you guys a website where you guys can go before you buy the parts, just to make sure that these parts are compatible. Okay, so I figured that this would help a lot of you guys out. So if you go to this website, pcpartpicker.com, you can source computer parts and make sure that they're compatible before you buy all the parts to put your PC together if you're building a custom PC. So for example, I've been in this app already, I was using it, but let's say we're just going to use the example I was using before previously. Say you're using the MSI MEG Z390 ACE ATX form factor, right? And we're looking to get a CPU that's a good CPU, a modern CPU, but a CPU that's compatible with this motherboard. Well, we're just going to go to choose a CPU. And then obviously we want a CPU that is, for me, I would like a 12th generation CPU or a 13th generation CPU. So that's i7, i9. So we'll assume, okay, let's say Intel i7. Okay, we'll just do that. It will automatically show to the screen all the Intel i7s. So then we can look here, and we know that i7, anything that ends with K, means that there's integrated graphics. And I love that, because graphics cards nowadays, I mean, let's keep it a stack. Graphics cards are so expensive. They're so expensive. We can't even afford them no more. One of my boys got 2 graphics cards, but he edits like video, 3D videos and stuff like that. So he does like a lot of rendering and stuff. So he needs that type of power. But he's got I believe it's the GeForce RTX, one of the newest graphics cards, has a lot of VRAM. I'm talking about 16 gigabytes of VRAM, and the price for it is I think he showed me. 'Cause I just seen him today. He was talking about it. I think it costs about $5,000 for this graphics card, and he has 2 of them. So yeah, like, unless for the most part, what I recommend is you don't really need a graphics card unless unless this is a gaming intensive computer. If you're not gaming, you don't need graphics cards, honestly. Because what comes with graphics cards, you also need to be able to maximize it, which means that you need to have display ports, you need to look at resolutions, you need to look at refresh rates, response times. You need to look at more than just a graphics card. And maybe I'll make a video on that, choosing the right graphics card and making sure that your monitor works with that graphics card correctly, and your CPU can also work with the graphics card, and you also have the memory needed to work with the graphics card and the interfaces necessary to get the best output for whatever you're trying to do. But we're getting off topic. So this is integrated graphics. So I want to have integrated graphics with my motherboard, right? So let's see if this is compatible. So all I do is I just click add, and it will tell me, yo, this is not compatible with the motherboard that you have, because this motherboard is not compatible with this CPU. So then what do we do? Okay, let's go back. So we go back to choose a CPU. We go Intel i7. And then we say, okay, well, maybe we can't get that CPU. So maybe we will need a graphics card. You know what? Let me try the KF. Let me try the KF Intel Core. Oh no, it's not compatible, right? So essentially, what you could do is you could keep searching until you find a compatible piece. Okay, and a compatible piece in this instance would be the Intel i7 8700. Okay. And so if I go back and I add this, then I'll see, it's compatible, there's no issues, etc., etc. And you could do the same thing with your memory, with your storage, with your video card, with your power supply, with your monitor, and make sure that everything is compatible, everything is working before you end up buying your PC, right? Another thing that you should know is when you're looking for a CPU for a certain motherboard, what you want to do is you want to look at the motherboard and you want to see what the socket is. Okay, the socket is where the CPU is going to go. So if the CPU fits in a different socket, it's not going to be able to mesh with the motherboard very well. So you want to be able to look at the socket for the CPU. You want to look at the memory max. Okay, if the motherboard has a memory max of 128 gigabytes, but the CPU has a memory max of 256 gigabytes, then that's going to tell you everything you need to know, right? That the two are not compatible, right? Same with the memory type. If the CPU has a memory type of DDR5 and is not compatible with DDR4, then the motherboard is not going to be compatible with the CPU. So there's a lot of things you need to look at. You also need to look at the frequency. Whenever you're buying RAM, you need to make sure that the RAM frequency is the same. Maybe I'll do a hardware series on YouTube. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys want to see that. If you guys want to see a hardware series on YouTube, you know, let me know, and maybe I'll make a series on YouTube. Just like the video, and based on the likes, you know, maybe I'll make a hardware series or maybe not. But you definitely want to have this website. To bookmark this website, if you guys aren't familiar with bookmarking, just click on the star and it will automatically book your website for you. So that way, if I close everything and I reopen and I need to get back to that website, I can just go to my bookmarks and I can see, okay, the website is right here. All right. And one more thing, guys, is you want to get this app. This app called PC Building Simulators is a great app. And what it basically does is it simulates building a PC. So you can actually do a lot of things within that app, such as sourcing parts for a PC virtually, putting PCs together, connecting cables, doing IT work, troubleshooting computers, fixing computers, and it's like in a game type format. So you can actually, so this is actually going to teach you a lot. If you play this game enough, you'll start to learn certain things about hardware and certain things about computers. Once you learn the basics, that, you know, it's almost like working. It's like experience. That's what you gain from using this app. So you will need a good amount of RAM to use this app. I would say at least 8 gigabytes of RAM on your laptop to be able to use that app. But it's a great app to use, especially if you're trying to get into the IT business. This is a great app. Obviously, I went over Cisco Packet Tracer already, which is also a great app, and VMware that hosts Kali Linux and different servers. So that's what I want to share with you guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, and you know, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.